Okay, let's dive in. Choosing an AI partner for transaction monitoring, it can feel like a total minefield, right? So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. Think of this as your playbook for making a decision that's not just smart, but truly defensible. This quote just nails it. We go into this thinking we're just buying a piece of software, but what we're really doing is managing our most precious resource, our investigators' attention. A system that just buries them in low-quality alerts isn't helping. It's actually making things riskier. So I want you to forget about the flashy AI demo for just a second. The real decision here, the thing that actually matters, is about your entire operating model. We're talking about business outcomes, how your team actually works, and building a governance structure that'll hold up under a microscope. And that brings us perfectly to our first section. We are going to pull back the curtain on something I like to call AI theater. That song and dance vendors do that can easily lead you down the wrong path. So what does this show even look like? Have you seen it before? It's this performance that's totally designed to wow you, but it often hides some pretty deep problems that, well, they only pop up after you've signed the contract. Let's break down the symptoms. You've got these gorgeous dashboards, but they might be hiding a total lack of control. You'll hear promises about magic tuning that turns out you can't even verify. And the biggest red flag? An obsession with alert reduction. Focusing only on that can actually make you more risky because you start missing the real threats. It's the classic mistake of gaming the metric instead of actually improving the outcome. And here it is, the root cause of almost every single failure. It's not the fancy model, it's the data. I'm telling you, if your information architecture is a mess, if you have gaps in your data, there is no AI on planet Earth that can fix that for you. The whole program is basically set up to fail before the algorithm even gets a look in. So how do we avoid all these traps? Well, that leads us right into our next section. We have to shift our focus to the real selection criteria. And you can break it all down into 3 essential layers of a program that's actually defensible. So here's the framework, and it's not just a checklist, okay? These are 3 interconnected layers. First, you've got the quality of your data, your inputs. Second, the governance that makes every decision defensible. And third, the workflow that lets your team actually get things done. If you've got a weakness in any one of these, the whole structure could come crashing down. Let's dig into that first layer, data readiness. This just means you know exactly what you're monitoring, you have a rock-solid way to tell who is who, and you actually understand the quality of the data itself. The big takeaway here is simple. Your AI is never, ever gonna be smarter than the data you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out. All right, next up, decisioning and governance. This is all about being able to defend your choices. Can the vendor explain why an alert fired, but in plain English? Is there a clear, auditable paper trail for every single change made to the system? Can you test it and validate it on your own? You've got to remember this. Defensible AI is always governed AI, period. And finally, we get to layer 3, workflow and scale. Look, an amazing detection that your investigators can't actually work on efficiently is, well, it's useless. The system has to fit their world. It has to intelligently push the most critical stuff to the top of the pile, and it needs to handle your real-world volume without breaking a sweat. Detection is only as good as the decisions it helps you make at speed. Okay, so that's the theory. Now let's get practical. Let's walk through a real, concrete action plan for running a vendor competition, a showdown that's designed to show you what's real, not just who puts on the best show. Here are the 5 steps to a pilot that you just can't game. First, you define what success looks like upfront. Second, score every vendor on the exact same scorecard. Third, make them run their system on your historical data. Fourth, test the workflow with your actual investigators. And number 5, the most important one, demand the full governance documentation. And this is what that scorecard could look like. You've got your usual suspects, right? Cost, scalability. But look at the 2 critical gates at the bottom, governance and workflow. These are not on some sliding scale. It's a simple pass or fail. If a vendor can't meet your standard here, they're out. It's a deal breaker.
This is it. This is the ultimate test. When you ask for the full governance package, the change logs, the validation docs, the audit trails, this is the exact moment the performance ends and reality kicks in. A vendor with a solid defensible system will have all of this ready to go. A vendor doing AI theater, they won't.
So you've run the showdown, you've gathered all the evidence, it is time to make the final call. But wait, there's one critical strategic step you absolutely have to take first before you even think about picking a winner. You have to choose your organization's operating posture first. Are you a governance first kind of place where maximum defensibility and super rigorous change control are everything? Or are you all about speed to value? Focused on fast integration and quick productivity wins for your analysts. You have to be really honest about your top priority, because only then can you pick a platform whose strengths actually match your strategy. When you get right down to it, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful rule. The right choice is the platform that measurably improves your detection outcomes and will survive the intense scrutiny of an audit. It has to do both, no exceptions. And the story isn't over when you sign the contract. The final crucial piece of the puzzle is to scale with control. You start with a pilot, then you move to a limited production, and then you expand. But you have clear metric-based gates at every single step. This is how you make sure the value you saw on the pilot is the value you get at scale. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to mull over. Take a hard look at your current process. Is it really set up just to be impressed by a slick performance? Or is it engineered from the ground up to find a true partner that delivers real, measurable, and, most importantly, defensible results? The answer to that question makes all the difference in the world.